All right, everyone, it is finally time. I feel good enough. My voice is back enough. And I figured before I head on my trip to Dublin, I actually give you guys an overview of the bike. So, if you remember, I could only, based on the bike fit, get either a Canyon or a Cervelo. I went to Austin Tricyclist, which is one of the oldest bike shops, especially for triathlons in the country, but they have a really good reputation here in Austin. And I went to them and they cooked this thing up for me. So this was actually a used bike frame, but everything else on it is brand new. So if you remember the frame, this is the only part right here that's actually used. This is a 2024 P5 Cervelo. And if you remember the funny part, this is Nick Bear, the BPN guy. You can see him on the commercials. This is his old bike frame, but everything else is new. So this is a 2024 Cervelo P5 bike frame. And then here on the wheels, we've got 57 millimeters in the front, 64 in the back. These are the Aero carbon wheels that come on brand new P5 bikes. And then for the group set, we've got a SRAM Force, completely wireless shifting. And that was a big deal. I did not want any wires whatsoever. And so Shimano was just out of the question for me. And so I wanted to do SRAM and I got the Force, which was great. And as you can tell, this is a one by. So if you look right here, there's not multiple like chain rings here. So this is just one simple chain ring. So the goal of this build was to actually keep things like super simple for maintenance and other types of things that were going on. So that's what the tires and group set look like. Now, moving around to the back. So one of the things that is not great about this bike, or that I was not excited about, was that the storage options, especially like in-frame hydration, is not great. Unlike a Canyon, there's no in-frame kind of thing that's built out here at all. They've got this 500 milliliter bottle, but like, honestly, this is for show. Like, no one uses this apparently, and I don't plan to either. And so we needed to put on some hydration options, and that's where I got this. So this is the X-Lab Aero carbon wing setup with Gorilla cages. And so this will allow me to put two big, huge monster bottles in the back that I'll use to carry. And then what's cool about it is under here, this is actually a saddle bag where I'm able to put, my mini pump, Dynaplugs, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and by the way, on the tires, I run these tubeless. So there's no like inner tube or anything like that. I much prefer that because if you get a flat, the tubeless stuff most of the time will solve itself. And so that allows me to carry a lot less things here on the saddlebag. So that's the back setup here. The saddle, we're using an ISM. If you do triathlons, this is one of the most, I think, common saddles that people have. I tried a whole bunch of saddles at my bike fit, and this is the one that came out the best for me. Then moving on to the front. So we've got the whole front end. It's all tri-rig stuff. So none of this is actually from the Cervelo P5. All of this is stuff that we bought from third party on tri-rig. And what I like about this, first of all, is number one, if you remember the group set, it's all wireless, right? So none of this front end here, there's no wires, there's no connectivity. Here's where you do some shifting. All of this is wireless setup. So I could literally just pop this off and I don't have to deal with connecting wires or whatever. So it's going to make it really easy to travel. But for me, I like these huge arm scoops, which is why the primary reason I bought these is because it's going to make the bike way more stable and comfortable for me to ride in, which is really important because, again, I'm a big guy, so I'm putting a lot of weight on here. I've got the BTA bottle system, so between the arms bottle system here. So I can put another bottle system right here. So that gives me 3 bottles total. And I can actually fit another bottle under here if I wanted to. I've got the computer mount and then wireless shifting like I mentioned before. And this thing is super flexible in terms of being able to shift and move and adjust. And so this is the whole front end from tri-rig. And then nothing to write home here on the handlebars. This is wireless shifting as well. So this is where we built those in. So ultimately, that's the bike. That's the breakdown of what it looks like. Like I said, I've done one lap around the neighborhood before the freeze. It was fast. It's pretty light. I actually probably should weigh this, but otherwise, I think this is going to get the job done. And quite frankly, I hope to never have to buy anything like this again. And yes, if you were wondering, okay, what does all this cost? Used bike frame, but all these things, all these components, all in, all total, this was just shy of $11,000. So it ain't cheap. I don't want to buy this ever again. And so this better last for a number of years. So anyway, that's the breakdown of the bike. Long overdue, I know, but with the sickness, everything that's happening, hopefully at least you found this interesting. So the ultimate reason why we have any of this is because we're trying to go sub 10 on the Ironman, right? And this, because the aero position that you hold is going to allow me to go way faster than I was doing on my road canyon bike. So that's the hope. We'll see. I'm excited to use it in a few weeks here in El Salvador coming up. All right, folks, that's the bike. Talk soon.